heart attack. Fast, fatal, heart impact. Past painful scars, in fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact, don't ask, grab reactions, jacked, attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new submerged juice. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out, remember you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do begin, let us give a brief little review. In the last part we had Izumi and Bakugo. These two were trying to survive in the strange world they found themselves in. Now, Izumi, she found herself at the very beginning of that world's apocalypse, sometime 2 weeks after the world fell apart. And well, trying to survive, it was odd and strange. She almost lasted a year. And there was actually Bakugo, who, he lasted, I want to say at the very least, 3 or 4 months. And well, both of them died in that world. And they found themselves awakening in a forest. And reality bender Deku, he appeared to Bakugo. And he let out a little bit too much information. He said something very strange. And Bakugo, he's curious about that. He told him where to find Izumi. And he's heading there right now. And there actually is Izuku and Katsuki. We saw Izuku in the last part. However, we also saw their son. Now, Deku, he currently was heading down to the lake, or the river, to see what was going on there. And whenever he did arrive, he saw the situation. There was an animal that was attacked by a creature the night before, and the animal wasn't fully dead. It was just letting out screams of pain, and it couldn't really stand anymore. It lost too much strength, and its injuries, they wouldn't kill it fast, but it wouldn't survive them. So Deku, he did the very humane thing of putting it down. And whenever he did so, he was worried. Whenever he first saw the creature, he assumed that because of the early summer, creatures were coming out. And, well, right now, there is the creature. Deku deciding to drag it back to the house. And we do actually have a few people do see him, wondering what was going on because of the loud gunshot. And Deku would tell a few people. Him taking it back to the house, skinning the animal, and getting some of its meat probably prepared, before going to take some guts and other organs and leaving them by the edge of town, at least somewhere for the creatures to collect at night. Now, whenever that does happen, we actually have Izuku, who he actually does get some of the meat prepared and saved, before taking it inside to get it ready for something. And there actually is his son. I don't really have a good name for this character, so let's just call him John, since I do feel like that might actually be very fitting. Now, Deku, he does talk to John, and explain to him a few things as he actually is trying to clean some of the meat of the fats, and put it to the side. But, Pa, I don't really understand. What do you mean? John, your mother's out right now. Sadly, she went out hunting this morning, and with the amount of meat we do have, we should share with our neighbors. Really? Yeah. She's gonna be mad, but I think she'll understand the situation. Besides, there was something your mom did want to ask about, so we'll save and cook this for right now, get it started, and she can probably try to trade what she finds. And I'm sure that they'll understand. I mean, she's gonna give them more than she wanted to, but they'll appreciate it. I mean, they got their own kids. So the extra food will be good. Maybe we can get some vegetables out of it. Some garlic, maybe. Or an onion. Oh boy, the things you can cook with an onion. Pa, I don't like onions. John, you'll learn to appreciate them when you're older. Besides, whenever you can, onions are real good. Especially on a burger. Especially if you can get them caramelized. What's caramelized, Pa? Oh, right. Whenever we make steaks sometimes, and we cook the onions first before we start cooking the meat. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. The neighbors love them. They always ask about how to make it, but we tell them secret recipe. Keep your mouth shut about it, John. Of course, Pa. Never reveal the family secrets. That's my boy. All right. So, how are things for you today, boy? Other than your little scare at the lake, what happened today? Mm, not much, Pa. A lot of the other kids, they're talking about strange things that their parents say about you guys. Really? Yeah, I don't fully understand it, but people are saying that you two used to be bandits, bad people. I heard a story that you killed a man. Yeah, Deku to stop what he's doing and gonna look directly up towards his son. Who told you that story? Um, the old lady down the road with her husband? Okay. Mr. Clark, of course. Listen, John, you're a little too young for this. You're still 7, but I believe that you're still old enough to understand it. Me and your mom did some bad things to survive. We had different lives growing up. Not like how you have it. Really? Yeah. I mean, whenever I was your age, my dad, my father, he wasn't a good man. He was a drinker and a fighter. My mom, on the other hand, she was an entertainer. And they tried their best. Whenever my mom met my pa, she tried to give up her own life, tried to do better. However, my pa, he fell down a rabbit hole. I don't want that for you. Alright? And your mom, the type of life she's lived, I don't fully understand it or know it. I don't pretend to. But what I do know from how long I've known your mother is that she is a good person. Now, Baka would come walking in, asking what she's talking to that boy about. Hmm? Nothing. I'm just letting him know a few things. There was an injured deer down by the river. I got it ready for cooking, so we'll have some extra soup tonight. Ah, shit. If I knew that was gonna happen, I already figured it out. Um, Give me a minute and I can chop it up and butcher it. Then we can take the meat over to the neighbors and talk, trade it. That's a good idea. Her walking over and going to directly kiss Dick under the cheek before going to turn and bring her hand up to her son's hair. Her somewhat going to shake it up, ask him how he's been. I was doing good, Ma. Dad was just talking about a few things. Was he now? Yeah. The elderly people down the street told him that we were bandits. Did they? Yeah. I was telling him here about how that wasn't exactly entirely wrong, but it wasn't entirely true. Besides, they don't like the look of your mom because of her eye patch. Do they not? No. Plus, they may have seen the old posters. Trust me, we don't exactly look the same we did then, but people might still try to find us. I mean, some of those posters have still got to be hung up somewhere. I don't exactly believe they've just been taken down and we've been forgotten. Especially after what I've done. Hmm? Isuko. No, he needs to hear this. Listen, John, I was a part of a group of men. There were a lot of names for us, but most in particular, there was what people called me. People called me a multitude of names, and they didn't exactly understand what I was. But the most common name for me was, well, wind. Hmm? Wind? It's strange, but people would say I'd ride like the wind, and the way I seem to be able to move, I just fly through bullets. Can't be hit, can't be killed. There's a lot to it. But there's also a simple meaning behind it. Really? Yeah. And, well, as you know now, boy, me and Ma aren't exactly normal. Okay. Now, Deku, he actually would somewhat tell a story and explain a few things to his son. And while John is young, about 7 years old, he still is able to understand a few things. While it is hard for him to understand, there actually is Bakugo who does try to help fill in the gaps. And we actually have about a month or so later, where Deku, he does take his son out to go fishing. And while the two are sitting there, John, he does ask his father a few questions. Hmm? Where'd you go get, where did you go getting that thought in your head, John? Hmm? But is it true? Okay. John, it's not untrue, okay? Listen, that was a long time ago, but I've changed since then. But, Pa, I just don't understand it. Don't understand what? But you said the other night. I don't get it. Boy, okay. Listen, I don't exactly know how to answer that question, but there's a lot of things going on. Things me and your mom haven't told you about. But why? Be- because we don't know exactly how to. It's a lot for just us to understand. I mean, I look older than I actually am, boy. And if you knew half of what I knew, you would understand why the entire situation is the way it is. But you and Mom were talking the other night. I mean, you guys just got so loud. I was worried. John, that's not the issue. It was what we were talking about. But, Pa, what do you mean? What I mean, John, it's it's more difficult for you to understand, okay? I don't expect you to. I'll tell you about it whenever you're older. But me and your ma, we do love you. You know that, right? Of course I do, Pa. Good. So, just know, whenever the time does come, you'll know. I swear on it. You'll know it before you're 18. Really? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a difficult thing to learn, understand, know. But hang on, you're lying. Now, John was going to try and fight against the line, him being able to catch a fish and reel it in, as Deku just tried to tell him a few things as to what to do. And the two, they would continue their conversation. And we actually do have about 10 or so years later. Deku, he's finally been doing a lot. He's been waiting. And today, it's the day. Bakugo, she's been worried. Ever since the day she found out and told Izuku, the two, they had their own little journey. They did so much. They spent much time here. And then, well, they're just there sitting at the table. They know it's their final day. They know because he told them. And it's gonna be happening in an hour. At least, that's what he thought 45 minutes ago. The dinner his family had, it was nice and pleasant. And then there actually is Deku's son, John, sitting across from his parents. And Deku, he actually does pull out a bottle that he bought at a store. And he does get to pour it. Him handing a glass over to his son before going to Dookie, knock a few back, and go to pour one out himself. And Bakugo, she's going to take a glass in her own hand. Alright, boy. There's a lot to tell you. But you'll just have to see it. See what? Boy. John, me and your mother love you. Ever since we found out about this day, we've been preparing you for it. We've made mistakes. And one of the biggest mistakes we thought we ever made was having a child. Pa, what are you talking about? Let me finish, John. The reason why. Me and your ma aren't exactly from this world. You're a smart boy. You should be able to figure that out. Me and your ma come from another place with people. And we got stuck here a long time ago. And we're about to leave. What are you talking about, Pa? Now, Deku, he does get a look outside. 5 minutes. I'm gonna stand up and walk over. Looking out the door. He already does see that it's starting to happen. The sky. Some of the few lights out there. It's almost like staring up and looking at a bit of a glitch. An image that you start cutting away at. There's bits of nothingness scraping across the sky. And it's both beautiful and frightening. A universe being destroyed all around them. And only this place will remain. Only him and Bakugo. Their son. He's going to be left alone here. Or will they just pop again? Is that it? Now, Balko would go walking up and over to Deku, her by his side and looking out to see. As Amanda's come walking up to the door, them opening it up, as there to stand Reality Bender. And he does get a somewhat nod before Deku, he does get a turn to look at his son. Him giving him a hug, as Balko would do the exact same thing. And the two, they try to prepare their son for it, as the world outside is destroyed. And John, he does look around. To him, the world is normal. To him, everything is normal. And the three, they are just standing there, in a large hug, as both Bakugo and Izuku, they feel their son just slip from their grasp, as if he was made of dust. And the two, they do just somewhat fall onto their knees. As Reality Bender, he does going to tell them, it's quite gruesome. Is he still alive? No, I'm sorry. I understand what you're going through. Why did you do this to us? Why? To let you understand. Do you want us to understand this? Why? Why do you wish for us to do this, Izuku? Bakugo. That is a tough question. No, it isn't. Bring us back to our son. Please. Please. At least tell us he's safe. I cannot do that. That world, I destroyed it. While I can take him to another place, set him down there, I would have to wipe his memories. I could put him into a peaceful world, take him somewhere where things are better. Things are, by your standards, normal. But he will never know you. He cannot know you too. He will live a long, full life there, but he will always wonder about you. I can do that, or I can let you know that he vanished, knowing both of you, loving both of you, and in his final moments, thinking both of you two were right. He would die without knowing pain, or even knowing it happened at all. He would just have the love for both of you. Which choice would you prefer? Now, the two, they don't know. It's gut-wrenching. This idea that he's just either gone or doesn't know them. So they try to just tell him, whatever choice is better, give him that one. If he is superior, he would then know. Reality Bender would just nod, and go to just flick his wrist, and the two are sent along. And we do actually have right now Deku and Katsuki. The two, they both wake up. They are in another world, and wherever they are, it clearly doesn't seem good. Deku, he doesn't know where he's at. He just doesn't care. And wherever Bakugo's at, it's just the same. The loss, the pain, and everything else, it hurts. She just can't. She can't think. Her mind, it's overwhelming. It's just, it doesn't matter anymore. Does it? I mean, as messed up as it was to say, think, it doesn't matter. If this is their lives, then how will they ever change it? They are nothing but puppets on strings. And right now, this puppet, it wants to cut its own strings. That being what bakugo does think. We actually do have over with Izumi and Katsuki. The two would both arrive at the gas station. Bakugo, however, he would arrive first, instead of Izumi, and that does make a small change. Whenever Bakugo does arrive, he does walk in, and look around. It's weird. This is a normal gas station. So, where are they? Now, Izumi just come walking to the gas station, and whenever the two do see each other, they do run over to each other and embrace. And right now, they're both happy. It seems weird, but the worlds that they're jumping to, they're getting stranger. They're getting more out there. And the two, they're both worried. And we'd actually do have, or the two do walk back into the gas station to find out what's going on. And the man, whenever he does get to see both of them, he does look directly at Bakugo and freeze. Him asking the two if they both need something. Yeah, we do. Where exactly are we? We're lost. Are you? Yes, sir. I mean, it's strange, I understand. But we just need some directions. Alright. Um, I'll make a phone call. I'll be right back, and I can help you two out with whatever you need. Just stay here. Now, the two, they do understand. And right now, they do follow the directions. And whenever a police officer would arrive, he does arrest both of them and take them into police custody. Since these two, they are going to be going back where they came from. Because they are very dangerous people. And right now, the best thing to do is throw them back in their cells and toss away the key. These two are unfit to be a part of society. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.